everybody, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. If this is your first time in attendance, hello, please consider hitting the subscribe button before you leave our kingdom. I am back with pageant news, pageant tea, pageant drama, and a lot of you rushed directly into my Instagram DMs to report this news. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Here's the tea. Not too long ago, Miss Pushpinka De Silva was crowned Mrs. Sri Lanka. Mrs. Sri Lanka is a pageant that requires all of the contestants to be currently married. So in the normal pageant system, we have the Miss category, which is for unmarried, never wed, never divorced, never had children women. And then there are different categories of pageants. So this is a Mrs. pageant that requires all the contestants to be married. It's basically a competition of wives. And I do not believe that there is actually an age limit here, but this I'm explaining the rules of the pageant because it matters. Just give me a second. Now, while on stage receiving her crown, the former queen, Miss Caroline Jury, decided to take it upon herself to step on stage and dethrone Miss De Silva on stage in front of the entire audience and during a televised event. Here's the clip.
Goes to none other than Sri Lanka World 2020. Goes to none other than contestant number 20. Congratulations. It's the moment she's been waiting for, Sri Lanka has been waiting for, and she's been sashed as Mrs. Sri Lanka World 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to Mrs. Sri Lanka World.
I have a small request. As per the Mrs. World Inc., there is a rule that you all have to be married and not divorced. So, I'm taking my first step saying that the crown goes to the first runner-up.
First of all, I would like to thank for the judges for the honor, and I would like to thank for who helped me, who believed in me, and who supported me in completing my dreams. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Now, as you're seeing in the clip, she's citing the fact that she believes Miss De Silva to be a divorcee, which Miss De Silva has now disputed in saying that she is separated but not divorced. And I understand how the rules work, and you want to live by the letter of the law and you want to follow the rules, absolutely. But regardless of how you may feel about the situation or the personal choices or decisions or personal life of the winner, technically she is not divorced, she is not a divorcee. But Miss Caroline Jury decided to step on stage, declare the winner invalid, and then take the crown off of her head. Strip her of her crown, sash, title in front of the audience during a televised event. Oh, there is so much to be said. There is just so much to be said. First of all, the audacity, the absolute audacity for Caroline to assume that she has any power or authority. Sis, you handed off your crown, okay? You are now a former queen. And besides that, we've discussed this before. The pageant queens are not sovereign. They actually have no control over the organization or the direction in which the director wants to push the pageant. It is not within your authority to crown or dethrone anyone. She has no authority, none, zero. And I can't even fathom what the mindset of the director would have been at this time, but I can tell you 100% what my mindset would have been at this time, because this is a coup. Okay, I've talked about coups when it came to Myanmar. I talked about coups when it came to Miss America. This is a straight up coup. The queen went on stage and without any authority took the title from the rightful title holder. If I had been the director of this pageant, I would have marched right on stage, gave sis back her title, and took the crown off of the former queen and been like, I no longer acknowledge you as a queen of this pageant. Like, how dare you do this? From what authority do you have to take control over anything or anybody? As a director, you put the power in the hands of your judges. Technically, the director really doesn't even have the power to select their own contestant unless they're making themselves one of the judges, but it's a panel of judges. They're the ones that have the authority. So for what reason do you think that you have the power to do this? And then there was better ways to handle this. Honestly, she handled it in nearly the worst way she possibly could have by embarrassing this woman on stage. The only way this could have been worse is if she had punched the queen in her face. That's the only thing that would have been worse than what she actually did. But if this was a legitimate concern, you would have thought you would bring it up with the director. You would have thought you would bring it up with the organization. Like, this is something that you don't do to a woman that you don't have some animosity towards. Like, there is very obviously some animosity towards the winner, that the former queen just didn't like her, because you're not going to do something this egregious to a woman that you respect even an inkling, even a tiny little smidgen. Like, there was just no respect to be had. There's no way that you clearly had it out for this woman. And then to take it upon yourself as if you have the right to make any decisions. And look, you guys know how I am on YouTube at this point. I'm the type of woman, I don't like to be controlled. I don't like anyone to even pretend as if they have any type of authority over me. I hope you guys are not living your lives in a world where people who don't know your social security number, who have never seen you naked, I hope you are not living in the type of world where you allow people to have control over you, okay? Unless you have access to my bank account, I do not let anybody exert any type of authority over me, and neither should you. You should live your life as free and happy, as free as a butterfly, free as a happy bee. And anybody who ever tries to exert authority over me, you guys know at this point, I damn sure will make a YouTube video and tell you about yourself. I am a free woman. For this woman to be coming onto anybody's stage, anybody's pageant, and pretending as if she has some type of authority, it would have been completely within the right of the director to come on stage and dethrone her immediately. Like, I would have disavowed her, absolutely, because you embarrassed yourself, you embarrassed the queen, you embarrassed the organization, and you disrespected everybody. That's one thing that I don't like, when people try to take control over other people. You're disrespecting that person's sovereignty. That person has every bit of power and control over their own life. So for her to just assume authority, absolute coup. And if I was a director, I would have struck her down in the harshest way. Hell, had I been a judge, I would have marched right backstage and just been like, you need to do something about this. That honestly, this should have been handled immediately, because it's such an embarrassment to everyone, and it's such a level of disrespect that it just infuriates me. And I feel so bad for Miss De Silva, the woman that was supposed to be given the crown, because I can't imagine what was going through her head at that moment, like at that time. Like, how do you handle this thing? I can tell you how I would have handled it, but like, I feel for her. I feel for her. But yeah, some of you are like, how would you have handled it? Well, you wouldn't have taken a crown off my head. You wouldn't have taken a crown off my head. I would have looked her dead in the face and been like, sis, try it. You are a former queen. What you reaching up on my head for? You can go right backstage and have words with the director, because you shall not stand before me and be disrespectful on a national TV. But I have so much sympathy for the queen who like went through this, because clearly she was so baffled and distraught and hurt. And beyond the blatant disrespect to everybody, the first runner-up, because not only did she take the crown, okay, off of the winner's head, she gave it to the first runner-up, kissing her and like encouraging the first runner-up to like do her speech and everything. First runner-up, like, I understand she's being put on the spot. Like, she doesn't know what's going on and she's trying to go with the flow, but no. And I do feel bad for the first runner-up, because maybe she's thinking, did I actually win? Am I actually winning? But honestly, I feel like I do have sympathy and mercy for the first runner-up, but in the best situation, the first runner-up would have denied even taking the crown. Like, she would have not even participated in this coup d'etat, which is what it was. She would have not participated. I honestly wouldn't have, because the former queen, she was not within her right or authority to do that. So to kind of co-sign her bad behavior, which is it's very obvious that this is not how pageants are handled. This is not how crownings are handled. For a woman to be crowned and then immediately dethroned, like, that does not happen. So the first runner-up honestly either should have rejected the crown or given it back to the winner, even though I understand that she was being put on the spot in that instance. As of right now, like, there are updates to this story. The crown has been returned to the original winner, Miss De Silva. And it looks like they are looking into filing criminal charges against Caroline Jury. Hope I'm saying the names right. They're looking into filing charges of assault on her for what she did on stage, which I can't, you guys know that I take law classes. I'm super into politics and law. Like, I'm a nerd. But I can't guess how Sri Lankan law works, but I know that in the United States, assault charges wouldn't fly because she technically didn't hurt the woman. She didn't hit the woman, which I do have to say, for all of the publications who were just like, there was a brawl that broke out on stage, there was no brawl, okay? If you put brawl in the title, I'm thinking, like, brawl means punches were thrown. Brawl means, like, ladies were losing fingernails and pulling hair and stuff. That's what a brawl means. So when I saw the title, I was like, you're lying. There is no way a brawl broke out on stage. There was no brawl, but there was a lot of disrespect and embarrassment to be had. The organizers have gone about apologizing to Miss De Silva whilst also returning her rightful crown and throne that she did earn and deserve. I am assuming maybe in Sri Lanka there is, they tend to be, maybe they're a bit strict when it comes to divorce and when it comes to separation. I know there's certain countries that view divorce and separation and things of that nature. They're very sensitive about it, very conservative about it, and a lot of countries don't believe in it. So maybe Caroline was one of those people who, view this as like an affront to marriage, or they're very conservative. But either way, by the letter of the law within the rules, Miss De Silva was not breaking any rules. By the letter of the law, she is not divorced. But there was such a better way to handle this. And I can't even believe, like, in what world did Caroline even think that she was, like, this was gonna happen? Like, honestly, did you think that the organization was just gonna uphold your word? You're an outgoing queen. And even if you are a reigning queen, most queens at this point, they know they have no real authority over an organization. That is the role of the director. And yes, I do advocate for the women having a bit more control over their reigns, but ladies, this is not the type of control I was talking about. Like, honest to God, if this is what you were thinking that I was like advocating for, this is not what I meant. I did not mean this. Like, under no circumstances should a queen disrespect another queen. I mean, it better be something serious for you to go to that point to where you have to disrespect another queen. But this is not the steps that I was advocating for when I said, use your voice. Like, don't use your voice to take down another woman without, like, immediate and massive justification. If I was in the position of Caroline, because you guys know I try to see everything from the different angles to be as empathetic as I possibly can to everybody, which not everybody in this situation deserves empathy. But if I found myself in the situation that Caroline found herself to where I did not believe in the woman being crowned. I believe that rules were being broken. I believe that this was an unfair crowning. Honestly, I would have removed myself from the system and I just would have rejected being the person that crowned her. I just would have said, you know, I can't participate in this because I don't believe that this was fair. If I legitimately thought something was bad, or like the director cheated and changed the cards and the woman was not the rightful winner or something, then I would have just stepped back and been like, I can't participate in this. Honestly, like, if Caroline felt the need to say it on stage, she could have just spoken to the mic and told the audience, I don't believe in this crowning and I cannot participate in appointing this new queen. And she could have just left. Like, there was no need to go to the lengths that she did. Like, there were so many options before getting to the point to where she physically like dethroned the queen and took the crown from her head. Like, there was so much you could have done before getting to that point. You didn't have to embarrass this woman. You didn't have to embarrass this woman. And by all means, I am honest. I am completely honest. So I want to say this with my full chest, because when I mean disrespect, when I mean to be disrespectful, I will be honest about this. So Caroline, sweetheart, I say this with the utmost disrespect. What the hell were you thinking? Honestly, I just want to know, what the hell were you thinking? Did you think that you see how my brain is malfunctioning? My brain is malfunctioning because of the level or lack of intellect or logic in this entire situation, because it literally makes no sense. What did you think was going to happen? That the organization was going to go with your words? Did you think the public was going to back you up? You completely hurt this woman on national TV. It was a televised event, and ruined her crowning moment, which is very precious to pretty much every woman who competes in a pageant. You work so hard to get to that point. The crowning moment is your moment where you finally wear the crown for the first time, where you finally assume the throne, where you finally begin your reign as a queen. It's that moment. And I can't imagine the heartbreak of that woman having that, the fluttering feeling of, oh my God, I just won. Oh my God, I did it. Oh my God, I'm here. I've achieved all my dreams. And you have this surge of happiness, and then in that exact instant, it is stripped away, taken from you in the harshest, most non-delicate manner. It is taken from you in the most embarrassing way it could have possibly done. What happened on stage was not only disrespectful, it was cruel. It was the most hurtful way to hurt a pageant queen. And that's why I sit here with the crown of shade and I say, I mean this with the utmost disrespect. This was uncalled for, unnecessary, and an embarrassment. And I feel so bad for the queen, though she is a queen, and I commend her for keeping her composure, because I know a few queens that would have thrown punches. Let's be honest about this, okay? I myself, you wouldn't have took the crown off my head. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, sis. My heels are too high for you. You wouldn't have been able to look me in the eye whilst removing my crown. But I know some queens who are a bit more thuggish than I am, who would have snatched some hair extensions. So this whole stage situation could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. And I hand it to Miss De Silva for keeping her composure. And sweetheart, I know your feelings were hurt and your moment was kind of snatched from you, and you did not deserve that. But I'm happy that the crown has been returned to her and she can reign in her rightful place as queen. And the other one should be stripped. She should be stripped. There should be a big fat blank space for where 2019's queen used to be, okay? And a picture of an invisible man. She shouldn't even be on the website. She shouldn't be acknowledged. No. And if charges are filed, I don't know if they're gonna file charges, because I don't know how laws in Sri Lanka work. I know that here even though I completely disavow what happened, what Caroline did, in the United States, I know that assault charges wouldn't fly because no one was physically hurt. I don't know how the laws in Sri Lanka work, but if that's the law in Sri Lanka, then by all means, Caroline, do your time. Do your time. Don't embarrass the queen. Girl, if you're gonna declare war on a queen, you better know what you're doing. You better have an army. You better have justification. In the comment section below, let me know what you think of this bit of pageant tea and pageant drama. Just what? My mind is blown. If there's any updates that you know about that I don't know about, feel free to let the entire court know. We have plenty of courtiers here that would love to hear what you have to say. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Like I said, if this is your first time here amongst us, amongst the rest of our court, the lords and ladies, welcome. We would love to see you here at court again. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. In the meantime, I love you and I will miss you, but you know I will be back in a future video. Bye.